numbers again.
You guys have council meeting for
we have the election.
All right.
We got Gabby, just need to get her down.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Oh, you got a nice.
This year they kept in Tommy
Oh, I see
Butler,
you return the book.
famous here for extreme fishing. Catches like the record fish. Last 20 years. Tommy Butler chartered his boat where Tommy gives him like 6 numbers for an overnight charter. That's where we get the 60-mile numbers for stuff. Like sailboats and stuff.
Good evening. I'd like to call the Tuesday, October 21st, 2014, Oldsmar City Council meeting to order. At this time, I'd ask you to rise for our invocation and our pledge, led by our City Attorney, Mr. Tom Trask.
Our Father in heaven, we seek blessings on the tasks before us. Bless our efforts with clear insight, our deliberations with wisdom, our work with clarity and accuracy, and our decisions with impartiality. We gather to make decisions for our community. May we use only our best skills and judgment, keeping ourselves impartial and neutral as we consider the merits and pitfalls of each matter that is placed before us, and always act in accordance with what is best for the city of Oldsmar. This we pray. Amen.
Amen.
I pledge allegiance to the flag
Of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Good evening and welcome. Our first item on tonight's agenda is our Citizens Open Forum. This allows you to address the council. We only have a few rules: that you don't address anything that's on tonight's agenda, keep it to no more than 5 minutes, and state your name and address clearly for the record. We'll start with this side of the room. Yep, Becky.
Becky Afonso, 250 Strathmore Avenue. Good evening, Mayor, Council. This past weekend, the Florida Bicycle Association had its annual membership meeting here in Oldsmar. I'd like to thank Bike Sport and the Oldsmar Tap House for hosting our Friday night activities. And I'd also like to thank the City of Oldsmar Fire Rescue for allowing us the use of the training room for our meeting on Saturday.
Very good.
I'm also working on a press release to formally announce that I am now the executive director of the Florida Bicycle Association, and that headquarters are now here in Oldsmar.
Awesome. Congratulations. Tom?
Tom Kilty, on behalf of the Oldsmar Safety Harbor Relay for Life, 514 Humphreys Road, Safety Harbor, Florida, 34695. I'd like to present a plaque to you from the American Cancer Society and our relay in recognition of your many years of support. We're coming up on our 15th relay. Our kickoff for that relay is next Monday at 6 o'clock at Nielsen. You're all invited. We have extra invitations here, so feel free to come up and introduce yourself, and we'll tell you all about our cause.
Awesome.
Nice.
You want me to come down there?
You have flyers. Good.
This was not, I'll come down. So we can do a picture. This was not planned. I had my breast cancer awareness shoes on today. It was not planned.
Can I just nail the check?
Cut the heads off.
You can Photoshop them in later.
I was debating on the shoes or not, but those that know me know that the shoes won out, so. Anybody else on this side of the room? This side of the room. I'll let you two fight it out.
I'll go first. Right. My name is Babe Wright, and I live down on South Racetrack Road.
And several months ago, I came up and asked if maybe we could do something with Hillsborough County to restripe the road, since everybody seems to think it's a one-way street. Racetrack Road is not a one-way street. It's 2 lanes of street, but it's not wide enough really for 2 lanes, but the yellow lines are totally gone, and Hillsborough County doesn't seem to care. And since the housing development down past me on State Street and whatever the name of the other street is down there, something begins with a W, where they're building all these new houses. Wellington. We've opened up State Street, and there's a stop sign on State Street going both ways, but there's no stop sign on Racetrack Road. There's also a bus stop on that corner. The bus stops there in the mornings. There's 2 different buses. I think some of them are junior high and some of them are elementary. Most of them come from Hillsborough County. And they stop, and it's just a total mess. We had a little fender bender there Saturday because the lady that was coming from Hillsborough County stopped, and she thought the person coming down Racetrack Road was going to stop. She assumed it was a 4-way stop. And I just wish we could do something before some child gets hurt or somebody gets really seriously hurt at that corner.
I recall the stop sign. I don't recall the striping. Do we know?
Well, I think it all falls back on Hillsborough County.
I thought that one corner was actually the city of Oldsmar, is it not? Or what? I can't remember the discussion.
No, all of Racetrack Road is under Hillsborough County's jurisdiction.
Right.
Babe's well aware of that. And we did send those concerns to them that time. I want to say that was 2 or 3 months ago.
Yes, it was, Mr. Haddock.
I know that
Thank you.
nothing's happened. I'm not sure if we've heard anything else back from them since then, but.
Well, then some of the neighbors were wondering if we should try to get a petition and send it to Hillsborough County, or maybe y'all would have a different suggestion, or
Well, I think.
become very dangerous.
If the residents, including the ones on our side, but on the Hillsborough County side, just contacted the county administrator or a county commissioner in Hillsborough County, that might get some movement. That would be my suggestion.
Okay.
Can you give her the names of those people and the phone number?
Well, I think probably Steve across the street from me, he may know those county commissioners down there. I'm not sure, but I'll ask him. Okay? Thank you very much.
That would be my suggestion at this point.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks, babe.
Loretta?
Hip problem this afternoon. Well, I've got 2 things, Mr. Mayor and Council. The first one is to remind everyone that we are having a general election on, excuse me, November the 4th. If you had a mail-in ballot and you decided not to mail it in, please bring it with you to the polls intact. If you want to drop it off, you can drop it off at the library. We have a place there for it's a drop-off zone. They can drop it there between now and the election. I got some stats from our last election. We had a very pitiful turnout. 1,807 people from all 3 precincts. Very bad. So hopefully the November one will be a little bit better than that one.
And what was that? Was 1,800 total mail-in and everything?
Mail-ins and everything.
What's the percent that's actually coming to the polls?
Well, I didn't do percentage, but here's something you might find interesting. The most voters were age 66 and up in all 3 precincts. The most number of voters.
Wow.
By age. I didn't get percentages.
Well, you were at the fire station. What was the feel throughout the day? Pretty low, I would think, wasn't
We
it?
only had 147 voters. That was it, all day long.
Okay.
Loretta, that was the March election?
The primary.
August.
No, this past primary.
Most recent primary, yeah.
August. I'll leave a copy of the
Okay.
stats with her. If y'all want copies of it, you can have it. Okay, second thing. At the last meeting, I came before council, and I want to preface my remarks by saying that one of the best political TV ads I've seen was one put out by Chris Latbella recently, and in it he said, "You can't represent the people if you don't listen." So at that meeting, I would like to reiterate again that my remarks were speaking to an August the 5th meeting, and you had green light presentation on it. My remarks were to that presentation, to things that Mr. Miller said, and those were the things that I was rebutting. It had nothing to do with the resolution that you had on last meeting's agenda. That it said, consider resolution 2014-21, supporting Greenlight Pinellas Transit Improvement Program. You never heard me say the word resolution. I never mentioned that word. So I just feel like they either didn't hear me or whatever. But anyway, and Jerry, you know I love you, but you're kind of mouthy sometimes.
Mouthy all the time.
Well, you were a little mouthy that night, especially when I had the floor and you didn't. So,
I'm gonna stay mouthy, yeah, but you were cutting that turn.
Jerry, please try to remember that we have a chairman up here. That's the mayor. You're not the chairman. He is. So please let him do. Please let him do the talking. You were definitely out of turn.
Best me at that podium, I'm gonna answer you.
I didn't address you.
Address my name. And you looked right at me
I'm
and
talking
said,
about tonight, the meeting before.
Let's not eat up the 5 minutes.
Okay, well, just so he understands, when people are up here at this podium, they want you to listen to what they have to say. They're not interested in what you have to say. You're up here to represent us. We pay your salaries, we vote for you to be in office, but we want you to represent us. We're the voice. And I'm really a little, not upset, but I'm a little discouraged that this council didn't have a public hearing on such a hot button item as Greenlight. You should have had a public hearing. Safety Harbor did, beautiful. It was done perfectly. So next time you have a hot button item, consider putting it on a citizens forum and let them tell you how they feel. Then you'll know where you're supposed to go from there. But if you're going to represent us, please listen to us, okay? Thank you.
And we do. We try and listen to you. I let you speak at the last meeting. We had a very nice meeting after that, and discussed a lot of different things about the topic and your involvement with it from back in 1983. So I thought we had a nice meeting,
We did.
And so, but I certainly was going to let you talk, and I talked.
I just want to let you know where I was coming from. I really was not talking about to that agenda
understand.
item like some people thought I was. They just assumed when they heard the word green light, she's talking about an agenda item. I wasn't. I never mentioned the word resolution, not once. You go back and check the tape. You'll see that I didn't. So please, when we come up here, listen to us, okay? You may not agree with us, and that's fine, but we're the public. You're there to represent us. So please try to remember that, okay? You're
Absolutely.
representing us, not the other way around. Thank you.
Thank you.
Greta.
Anybody else on that side of the room? Anybody else in the room? Seeing no one, we'll close the citizens' open forum. It's going to be a short mayor's minute. Just a little update on things that are going on. You're starting to see construction at the Thornton's Plaza. And we do this so that you can take the information away and share it with your neighbors and friends that may ask. But construction has started on the back part where Hungry Howie's is. That is going to make the opportunity to move the hair salon and the produce market back there. So that should be happening soon. And demolition should be starting on the front part fairly soon, Marie? Do you know? Yeah. Fairly soon. I know there's a time frame. I would say within the next couple of weeks, you'll see the front two arms of that start to come down. So looking forward to that. Also, Aldi's opened over the weekend. I've had my share of it. I've been there 3 times now, I think, for ribbon cutting. They're a great community neighbor, and I stopped there tonight to find peanut butter for Ann and wound up with about a grocery cart full of groceries and forgot that you got to bring your own bag, so I look like a homeless guy walking out of there with all my groceries in my arms and boxes and everything. But check them out. They're a great community neighbor. So that's all I have for the mayor's minute. Next item is the Community Redevelopment Agency. We have one item on there, which is rejecting Market Square proposal for Simone Development and Management Incorporated, Menna Development and Management Incorporated. Does anybody wish to pull anything? Talk about it? Need a motion? Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion on the item? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. One item on our consent docket, approved payment to legal counsel. Need a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
I have a question regarding that.
On what?
I meant to bring this up with Tom before the meeting, but I spoke to Bruce about it. We've got one particular person, I don't know if it's good to bring his name up or not, but seems like he's been litigating with us for just the purpose of us running up a bill. And I want to know, I think the bill's about $6,100. I don't have my packet with me, but I think it's about $6,100. what point do we get to where we say enough's enough and try to countersue and get some of our money back? Or how do we get out of this where this guy's just gonna he's just abusing the records request is what he's doing. And he's just having our city attorney just,
Yeah.
and the clerks just give him nothing but, data, and that's all he's asking for. He's given depositions to both Mr. Haddock and Mr. Reeves. And when is enough?
Does it become a nuisance? Is that what, yeah. When does it become a nuisance?
When do we put the hammer down and say, hey, now we want our $6,100 back? Because he's representing himself, so he's not even paying an attorney.
Right.
And he's just right now abusing the system.
The lawsuit's being defended by the city. You're looking at, some of the time that was put in representing the city, but as for the attorney's fees, the only time that we can collect the attorney's fees is if there is a contractual provision that provides for them or a statutory provision that provides for them. And unfortunately, in the public records law, the state public records law basically says anybody that sues the city and prevails gets their attorney's fees, but the city, in defending itself and prevails, does not recover its attorney's fees. And I'm not sure the reasoning behind it, other than to allow people, the small people, to go ahead and, go after big city and big government and, and get some benefit of it. But the city is not entitled to its attorney's fees here. As for going after him filing a countersuit, you have to have a cause of action. He has a legal right to ask for public records, and if we don't provide it, he sues us, then that's the cause of action. We don't create a cause of action as a result of having to respond to his requests. So unfortunately, this particular case is very time consuming.
And it seems to me, he's abusing the system just by asking for additional information. And obviously, he's not a litigator, so I doubt he knows what he's doing. I think he's just trying to raise a bill with us, frankly.
Well, he's a litigator, he's just not a lawyer.
Well, he's representing himself. He didn't go to law school, as far as I know. I've had issues with this particular person in the past. And, I know what his motive is.
Are we any closer to a resolution on?
Yes, it's my understanding that Jay is either working on or has completed the motion for summary judgment in the case, and we feel very positive about the end result. And I really don't want to go into it any further
No.
in the public.
It's been bothering me the last, 8 or 9 times we've voted on your pay for it. But I brought it up with Bruce today, and, figured it was best I said something now before.
Do we have a cost of how much he has paid us for the public? I know he does it all the time, but we charge him.
Oh, that he's paid for public records request?
He can review the public records here at City Hall, and he doesn't have to pay anything.
But sometimes he has requested them.
I'm not sure the cost. It's 15 cents a page for a single-sided copy, 20 cents a page for double-sided copy. Do you have any idea?
He has not paid anything because everything that's been requested has been produced in an electronic format and under a certain time range. Anytime it would exceed that, and I give him an estimate of cost, he would not go for that public record.
And so he's got the biggest bill we've got going in the city of Oldsmar, frankly, which is crazy. For nothing. Anyway, that's my 15 seconds today.
Tom, there's a lot of, I don't know if you want to do this, but there's a lot of people out here listening to this, and they have no idea what we're talking about.
This is a lawsuit filed by Joseph Belsick against the city of Oldsmar, and it all revolves around his want to use the city's baseball fields on his own time, and we were not going to open up the baseball fields to him when they are scheduled for play or activity with other scheduled teams. And he feels that as a taxpayer that he should be able to do that, keeping in mind, he does not live within the city of Oldsmar. He lives in Palm Harbor, Eastlake. And so we told him that if he wanted to pay the same fee as others pay to use the field, when times that it's not otherwise occupied, we'll be happy to do that. He's not interested in that. And so as a direct result of that, he's gone on this campaign to basically prove that the city cannot charge such a fee, and the city should allow anybody from the public at any time to use any city-owned facility.
The reason why I asked that, I think the public needs to know what this lawsuit is all about and how he's wasting their time.
And he also has the ability to go down to Sheffield Park and use the fields at his leisure.
Yeah, well, I wanted to be careful because I didn't know what we could talk about with the litigation going on and stuff. So
A little background's not always as helpful. So.
That's all public record that we've discussed so far? Okay.
We have a motion and a second, I believe. All in favor?
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. Next is the City of Oldsmar. Our first item is a presentation of the Council Manager Award. The recipient has asked to move that to the November 4th agenda, so we are going to do that. The next is the presentation of the Employee Service Awards. We have 2 of those, and our City Manager, Mr. Bruce Haddock, is going to handle that.
Thank you, Mayor. There are 2 awards to be presented this evening. I'm going to go by seniority. The first award is presented to Al Braithwiate.
You go up there with him.
His moment first.
No. Just
Before he has
come
his
now,
moment.
Carla. Yeah.
You are his moment.
There's a check that goes along with this, Al. I think you're familiar with that. Glad you came tonight also, Carla. Service Award in recognition for 15 years of service to the City of Oldsmar, presented to Alan Braithwaite, 1999 to 2014. You go ahead and hold on to that.
Thank you, sir.
You know, it's funny how the timing on this worked out, that October, this is the month of your 15th anniversary. And last month, the meeting I missed, you got to present the service awards. One of them was to Lynn, also for 15 years. And so that dawned on me that he actually started 1 month before you, didn't he?
Yes, sir.
The other thing that, well, I knew that while I was gone that you'd do an excellent job filling in for me, and of course you did, and I appreciate that. One of the things that was perhaps unusual is more than one person, in fact, a lot of people, even some people probably watching it on TV, told me that you did an exceptional job presenting the service awards at last month's meeting to both Lynn and to Charlie Lee. And of course, Charlie is 35 years, the most service of any current employee. And because of all those comments, I actually went back and looked at it online, which is very rare that I go and look at a meeting online. But just as was stated to me by numerous people, you did a great job in those presentations. And I just couldn't help but contrast that with the way I do the presentations. And it kind of reminded me of it's a cliche of you get what you pay for, meaning that Al did the research and had all the facts and did an excellent job in reviewing some of the accomplishments of those people as he presented the award. On the other hand, I don't do any research from right here, which of course is what I meant when you get what you pay for. Al has currently serves as the Director of Administrative Services. I think I did mention this is his 15th anniversary. This is his 15-year service award. And he came to work here in 1999 as the finance administrator. And then in 2010, which would be 4 years ago, you were promoted to Director of Administrative Services. So far, all of the above is true, isn't that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay, I just want to be sure because I didn't do too much research. And although you've worked here for 15 years, I think we've known each other probably for at least 25. Yeah. You remember what year we met?
1986.
Yeah. You didn't do any research on that, did you?
No, sir. It's all up here.
1986. So that's 28 years ago. I knew it was 25 at least. So, well, anyhow, that was probably just a little more history. And not everyone would know okay, Director of Administrative Services, what does that mean? Well, the primary functions that Al has responsibility for include human resources, information technology, and finance. So it's a lot of waterfront to cover. And city has annual operating budget of about $28 to $30 million, depending on what year it is. And Al has responsibility for all the financial operation, human resources, information technology. So he does a good job with all those things. He has a great group of folks that work in Administrative Services Department. A number of them came this evening. I think they're here to see you get the award and offer their congratulations. So we're glad all of you came as well. So that was probably all that I had planned to say, but I'm sure that you might have some remarks that you'd like to share also.
Oh, sir. Just thank you very much. I very much appreciate everybody that showed up to support me, and grateful to have my job, and grateful to you and the council.
Well, here comes the wave. Oh. The owl wave.
Yay!
We'll do that for you. Chris,
Well,
you missed it last time.
Yeah. Congratulations. Happy 15th anniversary.
Thank you, sir.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Job.
The next service award is presented to Chris Koberna. Chris? And I see that your family came with you. You want to introduce them this evening?
This is my son Colby, Nathan, and my mom.
Glad to have you all. We're happy that you came this evening to participate in the award presentation. Take the check. Service award in recognition for 10 years of service to the city of Oldsmar, presented to Chris Koberna, 2004 to 2014. So congratulations and happy 10th anniversary. Don't leave yet. When, of course, they're going to take our picture at the end. But y'all can tell from the uniform that Chris is a firefighter and EMT with Oldsmar Fire Rescue, and that's the position that you've held as the 10 years that you've worked for us, I think. Is that right?
For the most part.
Yes. And you know, everyone in fire rescue also has some other assignments and areas of responsibility. What's at least one of those you could share with us?
I do all sorts of things at the fire station.
Okay, well, he's not going to be all that specific, and I'm not going to be either. But one of them has to do with maintenance of equipment and the building itself and things like that that Chris is really good at. You know, everyone brings their own skills and attributes, and that's something that's been very beneficial to the city and fire rescue over the years, and that's something that I wanted to acknowledge and say thank you for that extra effort and all those endeavors as well. Saved us some money, too, over time. We appreciate that. And there's also a few other folks that came to, just like in Al's case, they wanted to offer their congratulations and you know, acknowledge your 10-year anniversary. And you know, that's a decade.
Decade, yes.
So I'm happy that we can recognize you on your 10th anniversary this evening, Chris. And anything you want to comment on?
Pretty much, probably one of the reasons they came here to support me, but I think they're just taping a TV for later.
Well, we can watch it again later anytime we want, because I had to do that with the meeting from last month, as I mentioned earlier. And oh, I know. The other thing was, I think you're on duty tonight, aren't you?
No, I'm not.
Oh, you just came in your uniform because you look better that way.
Right. I can't. I'm glad the chief showed up, but he's off duty.
Yeah. Well, you know, Pat is out there. Did you notice that?
Yes.
She's off.
That's beautiful.
She's off duty also, I think. Well, there's some other people that, and let's see, Deb's not in uniform, and let's see. Okay, Chris and Tom, they're probably working. Are they working tonight?
Yes.
Okay, I thought so. But you're not.
I'm not.
Okay, well, anyhow, you look great in the uniform. I'm happy that you came and got dressed up for us, although we would have given it to you even if you weren't in uniform. Congratulations.
And they can do a ripple for you, maybe not a wave, but there's 3 of them. Here.
Congratulations, Chris. And the next item, oh, and Al, my neighbor. The next item is the presentation of the Homer Brunson-Ward Schrecengost Award, and I will do that, and we'll show you a short video, I believe.
The Homer Brunson-Ward Schrecengost Award was instituted in 1991, and what it was for, it was for one of our workers here in the city that was chosen by their peers to win the Ward Schrecengost Homer Brunson Award. And what the award is, it serves 2 purposes. One, to recognize an outstanding worker here that works for the city of Oldsmar, and the other, what it serves is that Ward Schrecengost and Homer Brunson were both council members here in the city of Oldsmar. Ward Schrecengost served as mayor for 16 years. His last year on the council serving was 1970. I had the privilege of serving with him on his last year. And Homer Brunson served 11 years as a council member and 1 year as a mayor. And this serves 2 purposes: to honor Ward Schrecengost and Homer Brunson, and to honor one of the incredible workers we have in the city of Oldsmar.
Hi. How are you? What's your name? Hi, Brendan. How are you? Well, this is a great award because this is, as Councilmember Beaverland said, is something that is nominated by your peers, which is great. It's not something that the council selects. It's no other process other than you're nominated for the work that you've done and that your peers that you work with think that you deserve the award for. I actually happen to be in there. You can go sit in my seat if you want.
Come on up.
I'm not doing much today anyway. But it's really nice, and you are voted on by your peers, and it's an honor. I mean, it's an honor to be nominated and selected. And so I thought, oh, he can stay.
For the picture.
Yeah. Let me read what was written about Kyle. Kyle is responsible for many duties. He plans and works the fish camps during the summer, fishing derbies, and play day at RE Olds Park, and other environmental programs. He GPS mapped our trails through the woods and mapped out the canoe route to Tampa Bay from Mobley Bayou Park. Kyle also is the contact person for all rentals and leagues at Canal Park, Sheffield Park, and for the past year, Kyle has been the on-site overseer of the construction of the new $3 million city trail system. The DOT grant mandates someone on-site at all times with daily log sheets of materials, labor, and equipment used. He inspects the quality of the work, proper depths of footers and concrete to ensure the new Oldsmar Trail system is built to the highest quality for the residents of the city of Oldsmar. And as evident by the last meeting, I was caught riding on the trail, I think, before it was open, but it would look nice. So congratulations. Here's a check. Brittany, there's a check for you. And I'll go ahead and read this. It's the Homer Brunson-Ward Schrecengost Governmental Award presented to Kyle Reifler for his outstanding service, dedication, and leadership to the City of Oldsmar, 2014 third quarter. Congratulations. And it also comes with a day off, so maybe you can go down and have lunch with your wife since she left our City of Oldsmar. Come on, come up here for the picture. You want to say anything?
I just want to thank the city for giving me this award. It means a lot to me, and I love working here, so thank you.
Don't forget to mention.
I was his partner in the canoe race this year. We won.
Just thought I'd throw that in. Congratulations. Oh, congratulations. Our next item is the presentation of the proclamation to Friends of the Library. Al's fan club is leaving. And I'll go ahead and read the proclamation. It's Friends of the Library Week. Whereas Friends of the Library raise money that enables our library to move from good to great, providing the resources and additional programming, much needed equipment, support for children's summer reading, and special events throughout the year. And whereas the work of the Friends highlights on an ongoing basis the fact that our library is the cornerstone of the community, providing opportunities for all to engage in the joy of lifelong learning and connect with the thoughts and ideas of others from ages past to the present. And whereas the Friends understand the critical importance of well-funded libraries and advocate to ensure that our library gets the resources it needs to provide a wide variety of services to all ages, including access to print and electronic materials, along with expert assistance in research, readers, advisory, and children's services. And whereas the Friends' gift of their time and commitment to the library sets an example for all, and home volunteerism leads to positive civic engagement and the betterment of our community. Now, therefore, I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the week of October 19th through 25th, 2014, as Friends of the Library Week in the City of Oldsmar, and urge everyone to join the Friends of the Library and thank them for all they do to make the library and community so much better. Dated this 21st day of October, 2014. Doug Beavis, Mayor. Orchid. How are you?
I'm fine.
Oh, I love your shirt.
I like her shirt.
Oh, blinged out. Congratulations. Do you want to say anything?
Well, the only thing I want to say is I'm sure the community is aware that the library has helped the city grow to the state that we are in today. I think it has attracted the best. I tell everybody this is the best community to live in. My family's here, I'm here, we've been here for 42 years and have been a part of the library, getting the services all that time.
How much money do you think you guys have raised for the
Oh gosh, I don't know. But we just got a nice donation, as you know, from Ross. They gave
from Ross, right?
Ross, yes, they gave us $1,000,
Nice.
and that helps Bert buy things that we otherwise would not be able to do for the library. But I think we all can be really proud of the library. We have a wonderful director and staff, and this is a great city.
Great to be proud of. Yep.
Yes.
Well, congratulations. There you go.
Thank you.
Thank you. Turn that around so they can see.
Oops. Okay.
And don't cover up your bling.
Thank you.
Let's do it while I'm here, huh?
Might as well.
The next is a proclamation for Community Planning Month. I'll go ahead and read that. Whereas change is constant and affects all cities, towns, suburbs, counties, boroughs, townships, rural areas, and other places, and whereas community planning and plans can help manage this change in a way that provides better choices for how people work and live. And whereas community planning provides an opportunity for all residents to meaningfully involved in making choices and determine the future of their community, and whereas the full benefits of planning requires public officials and citizens who understand, support, and demand excellence in planning and plan implementation. And whereas the month of October is designated as National Community Planning Month throughout the United States of America and its territories, and whereas the American Planning Association and its professional institute, the American Institute of Certified Planners, endorse National Community Planning Month as an opportunity to highlight the contributions sound planning and plan implementation make to the quality of our settlements and environment. And whereas the celebration of National Community Planning Month gives us the opportunity to publicly recognize the participation and dedication of the members of planning commissions and other citizen planners who have contributed their time and expertise to the improvement of the city of Oldsmar. And whereas we recognize the many valuable contributions made by professional community and regional planners of the city of Oldsmar, and extend our heartfelt thanks for the continued commitment to public service by these professionals. Now, therefore, I, Doug Beavis, Mayor of the City of Oldsmar, Florida, do hereby proclaim the month of October 2014 as Community Planning Month in the City of Oldsmar, in conjunction with the celebration of National Community Planning Month, dated this 21st day of October 2014. Doug Beavis, Mayor. And who's receiving this? Mary, there you are. Congratulations. Yay. What do you want to say?
Nothing. Theme this year, though, is health and prosperity, and it's all related to quality of life. And as Orchid said, this is one of the best places to live. So
One of?
I mean, misspoke.
Yeah, sorry. There you go. Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yay. More work to come, huh? You guys do a great job, and look forward to many of the projects that we have on the horizon, and seeing the city of Oldsmar grow to be even a better city to live in. So congratulations. That's it for me. City Attorney?
Don't have anything tonight, thanks.
Thank you. City Manager?
Thank you. Mayor and Council, item 8, approve grant agreement with the Florida Department of Economic Opportunity for the BMX Supercross track. Of course, the council's aware that earlier this year, the legislature appropriated $1,270,000 for this project. And the governor also, of course, had to approve that in the state's budget that went into effect on July the 1st. So the project is nearing final design. We have already started some demolition work on the baseball fields to make way for the expansion of the BMX track at Canal Park. This is the grant agreement between the city and the Department of Economic Opportunity. The grant amount, as I said, is $1,270,000. If you have any questions or comments, I'd be happy to respond to those. I recommend approval of the grant agreement with the state of Florida.
Need a motion? Second?
Second.
Discussion? Any discussion? I did go with Bruce and met with the DEO people from Tallahassee, and they were well received, and they really like the city of Oldsmar. They think it's going to be a great project, and we talked to them about opportunities to possibly, maybe team up with them for other projects down the road. And they, as I mentioned to Bruce today, they have pants with a lot of pockets in them. So, we might have some opportunity to do some things with them in the past. But thanks again to Representative Hooper for sponsoring this. We may have been able to get it done, but it sure made it a lot easier to get a big fat check. Do we get one of those big checks or no? We don't get.
I don't think they do that too often anymore.
They don't, no.
Checks are becoming
obsolete, yeah. Oh, they just put it in our PayPal account? Is that what they do?
Well, I hope they put it in a different account, but yeah.
So that was a real good meeting, and they look forward to coming down here when the track is completed and be a part of the ribbon cutting and the festivities that go along with it. So thanks to councils past and present and the staff that's worked so hard on that. This is something great not only for the city of Oldsmar, but Pinellas County and the whole surrounding areas. So anyway, we got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Passes 5-0. Thank you. Anything else?
That was all. Thank you.
City Clerk?
Just a reminder, qualification period started on Monday. So seats 1, 2, and 3 are open.
1, 2, and 3, and we've already had a few people draw, so good. We're excited about that. City Council, by comments by council. Councilmember Beaverland, we'll start with you.
Thank you. The first one is, I'd like to remind the council that there's a possibility that we can cancel the second meeting in December.
We have done that in the past couple of years, so is that on the agenda for the next meeting?
It's on the November 4th agenda. So if you want to officially do it then,
yeah,
we'll plan accordingly.
Yeah.
Plan accordingly. And I'm going to ask the council this first. I got two fairly good for the city of Oldsmar are rare postcards that I gave the Historical Society downstairs a little while ago. And one of them is a stamped postcard from the old post office across the street, which goes way back. And the other one was a postcard that I had actually forgotten about at the time. I asked my beautiful wife if she remembered, and she says, yes, I do. And then she just rattled it off, and you know, that's the way ladies are. I want to ask the council first, if you know, Bruce, don't say it yet. Do you know what Oldsmar's first zip code was?
7.
7.
No.
No?
No.
All right, I'm going to ask.
Anybody else?
No, they don't know. No, I'll ask Orchid, Babe, and Loretta. Do you know what the first zip code was? Don't say it, just raise your hand if you do.
You win a prize.
Orchid does.
I think it was 33557.
Wow.
3-3, and you two didn't remember it.
Oh, I remembered that, but I thought there was one before that.
No, 33557 was the first one. That one goes way back. Anyway, that's it, 33557.
Shouts out to the 33557 then.
Very interesting. Once my
Does
beautiful
that exist anywhere still or no? 33557, is that still in existence anywhere? I don't even know.
Wait a minute.
Probably not.
We can claim annex.
3-4. What is it now?
4677.
4677. Thank you. No, it's not good anymore. 3467. And thank you, who y'all are.
Thanks. Councilmember Roniker.
Just wanted to wish everybody a happy Halloween. That will be coming up before our next meeting. And also, a question, we had a workshop probably in March or April when I first got back on council for the Charter Review Commission suggestions. And then I think in August, or maybe when Al was acting as the city manager, we discussed it, but I haven't seen it come back up on the agenda. What is the reason for that taking so long?
All the ordinances are prepared, and you know, I can email them over to Ann tomorrow morning for consideration whenever Bruce wants to put them on the agenda, but they have been completed.
Bruce, when are we going to put these? I'm only going to be here for 2 more meetings. And I sat through those workshops and had a lot of input. I think it would be a disservice to me and to the residents if I don't have an opportunity to vote on those.
We add them to the next meeting. We only have to advertise them for the second meeting, so they could literally legally be put on the next agenda if that's what you wanted to do. And it was.
I mean, is there a reason why we're waiting?
I actually brought the same subject up this morning, so.
No.
So I'm assuming we can have first reading on November 4th. There is some time constraint for making the March ballot, but.
About not making it because it's too late?
They have to be done by a certain time. They have to be done by the.
January, like 3rd or 4th, somewhere around in there.
Well,
So
right, but we have to have the readings done on the ordinances so that in time for the final ballot resolution, which
do
was
the-
going to be the second meeting in December, but we had scheduled our calendar to make it the first, just in case the second meeting got canceled. So if they're ready in November, they can make the ballot if they're adopted.
Yeah, I've asked that,
So-
too. We need to do that.
We'll add that to the November 4th agenda for the first reading.
Okay, thank you. And then the last thing, I think for the first time since the city started Oktoberfest, as far as when I've got involved with it, I will not be at Oktoberfest. My beautiful wife turns 50 years old this weekend, and we'll be out of town doing some other things other than Oktoberfest. Happy birthday, honey.
Happy birthday, his honey.
That's it? That's it. Thank you. Vice Mayor.
I have a couple things. First of all, I'd like to congratulate everyone that was involved in the award that the city of Oldsmar got. I was out of town, and it would have been Christmas for me to be there and see us win this award, but it was Municipality of the Year for the the U.S. Green Building Council. And Oldsmar got it for Municipality of the Year. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I think that covers 5 counties, right? 5 surrounding counties for that?
It's the Gulf Coast chapter, so I think you're right.
Yeah,
as
5
far as
counties.
the
So
area that
there's a lot of municipalities in those 5. So kudos to everybody that was involved in that. And I have an update on the art and public places that I'm working on with Dr. Wallace at USF. It takes a lot to get it on a class agenda because they do their classes so far in advance. There is one class coming up in the spring semester, art and architecture, and he's gonna get with the professor to see art and architecture to see if he wants to take the project on. He thinks it's a wonderful opportunity for the students to get real life experience in art. Another suggestion that he has is to actually take some of the money that we have earmarked and hire a specialist to help, and then it could be put on as a class for the summer. So we're exploring all different things before we bring them to you. We want to have all the options before we bring them to you. And I was wondering, does anybody have copies of the stuff we didn't like? I have some of it, all those artist renditions and everything. The city clerk and Chris, they're all helping me with all the minutes and everything, so I'm giving them everything so that they can see what we liked and we didn't like to narrow it down.
Lynn has them.
Oh, great. Yay. Okay. And that's it?
Good, thank you. Councilmember McGee?
I had a couple questions. Happy birthday to Denise, since I didn't have a birthday for this. Did we ever look into the Aldi parking lot issues that one resident member, I think it was 2 council meetings, he brought up and said?
And so did Jerry.
Okay, and were there issues there? A lot of them? Are they being addressed?
Well, is there anything you can do?
I would say those were aesthetics. That wasn't really like a code violation.
Okay.
They basically resealed the parking lot. Some of us think it would have been better to resurface the parking lot, but that wasn't really a requirement. So they're in compliance in terms of their site plan and their building permits.
Okay. Are there still aesthetic issues, though, that we can't do anything about, or?
Well, in my opinion, I think one of the things that's going to be interesting is when we start getting the gully washers and, the parking lot, because that was one of the concerns when this project, even before this first project started from Munchies, was that, the parking lot had drainage issues. Some of it was associated with, I think, the pipes that went out to the pond in the back and related items to the pond, which may or may not have been addressed, which I think they were. But I think the grading, as the city manager mentioned, might need to be looked at if it doesn't. And I don't know if that becomes a violation.
Some of the changes, hopefully, that would have improved that were, of course, the landscape islands are not the same as they were, or they didn't even have landscape islands.
No, they didn't. It was wide open.
That would probably impact the drainage. Everything hasn't been CO'd. Obviously, the 2 stores that are open have a CO.
Okay.
But I don't think there's any issues with the parking lot at this time.
Okay.
I looked in that also and found out that we can't do anything. As I talked about when I brought this up before, there's a possibility the next time we have something like that, if we ever do have something like that, it should be somewhere in the documents about the parking lot, because who up here would have known to ask about the parking lot?
Well, we talked about the parking lot for hours, I felt like. We talked about landscaped islands, we talked about the width and the length of the parking spaces.
Everything except the paving of it. And I thought at the time, because they were changing everything, that it would be repaved.
Well, just if you look at things historically, when a project of that magnitude occurs.
Generally, they repave it.
You would think.
Yes.
So they're probably cutting corners on that. Okay. I sent that email about the picking up the dog excrement signs in Golair for the trail. Are we getting signs for that? I know that I saw all the other signs that we added on the trail, but they had specifically asked about picking up after your dog signs. Do you know, are we planning on, sorry, Lynn, to bring you up there, but I have another question for you after that.
Lynn Reeves, the Service Director. They had signs at each end already, and we put additional 3 more sets of signs that said pets on leash.
Closes at dusk.
Closes at dusk and dawn. And one other one. No motorized vehicles. And so those signs are in place. We are going to put some pet waste when the contractor's out of there, because it's not part of the contract. We want to finish that, but we'll put some pet waste containers at each end.
Okay, great.
So that hopefully will help a little bit.
Okay.
Well, what was the sign about, no motorcycles or motorized?
No motorized vehicles.
Good, okay.
And then the email we received, I think it was today or yesterday, about the resident that was interested in archery. Did you see that? That's pretty a neat idea.
That is pretty neat. It kind of goes along with the other.
We do teach archery. Actually, Kyle Reifler is certified as an instructor at like level 2, and he's taught archery classes. We don't really have a range. That's what that person, and I sent him an email back and told him that, we don't have a range on site, but we do offer archery classes because we don't really have a space that it stays in one place.
Yeah, that would be neat though. Maybe it was part of the borrow pit or something one day in the future. That would be neat to have that.
That would be good.
I haven't done that in a long time.
We can shoot some turkeys or wild boar out there. No.
And then I had one other question for you, Lynn. The Little League fields, so all the meetings that Dan Belcher came to, where are we at with some of the improvements and things he had requested, like the covers on the bleachers? And I can't remember what we decided to do.
Well, the bleacher covers, we really didn't decide to do anything at this point because they're not in the budget, but I can get some costs for that. A good majority of the pictures that Mr. Belcher showed were responsibility of the Little League. Okay. Containers, the signage was the Little Leagues, things of that nature. The building was Little League. The things that were ours, we took care of. So at this point in time, the dugouts, that was in progress when he actually came. We re-roofed all the dugouts and things of that nature. That was all planned.
So it's really just the covers on the bleachers?
Right.
And I don't
Did you push up money for that?
Well,
Or was that
I
something
thought
else?
we allocated funds for it.
I mean, I thought, and maybe we did.
A dollar figure, but
I don't know.
I
I know
we
we
want
talked
to do
about-
this. We're committed to doing this.
I thought part of the bigger discussion was that we really need to overhaul the
Not just
park.
piecemeal it.
Not just
but
piecemeal
yeah.
and keep putting duct tape, because I went out there, I don't know, a couple, 3 weeks, a month ago to kind of see what had been done with the BMX track, and I kind of walked around, and I got to tell you, I mean, I know you guys do a great job maintaining what's there, but I mean, I think it certainly is not up to the standards that the city of Oldsmar prides itself on with our buildings and our other, we're putting in a world-class $1.45 million BMX track, and I really think, I mean, it definitely could be helped. And, I know they brought up City of Clearwater's parks over there off of Keene. I think St. Petersburg, I believe, did some new parks down there. But I mean, those things don't just happen overnight. And I think we talked about maybe at the workshop that we do. Am I correct in that? That we talked about at the workshop, maybe making that one of our,
Yeah. Well, I was there. I didn't know you were going out there, and I was out there that morning.
Yeah.
That you went out there that afternoon, and I walked around with them, and then you showed up, and then we walked around with you. Is that some of the things that they complained about? It was things that they should have taken care of, but there are other things that we need to do to make that a world class. And I say world class because we are going to have a world class BMX track there. And you made the mention that we are going to add landscaping around the outer edge of the park. Is that what
Outer edge of the outfields, we started that this past year. But because they like to put screens up, and the screens, when the wind comes up, the screen knocks the fencing down. So we're putting landscaping around those. We did 2 fields this year, and we'll do a couple more. It's just an ongoing, just like we did with redoing all the dugouts were redone. It was scheduled in the capital budget. This coming year, the concession stand, we're going to retile the floor and probably,
which really needs it,
tear out the metal pull downs and put concession windows in there with impact glass, and we have a budget line for that. So those type of things, that's what we do is with the fence projects over the years. We've upgraded the fence each year over the last probably 4 or 5, and I think we've only got one field left to do.
Okay, I couldn't remember what we
Also, one
decided.
other issue that they brought up about the scoreboard that I found out, I guess, they own the scoreboard, I guess. They can't get electricity to it somehow.
Actually, Coca-Cola provides the scoreboards through a contract. And we used to handle the contract. And
I think it's Pepsi.
This was probably 3 or 4 years ago. And we had problems because there's a requirement in the contract for all the leagues to buy product directly from Pepsi. Did I say Coke?
Coke, yeah.
They're watching.
Okay, Pepsi. So I did talk to the Pepsi representative in probably 2 or 3 months ago because the scoreboards needed to be refaced. And he told me they weren't going to do anything to them because they weren't buying product from them. And part of that is they can go to Sam's and buy a case of soda for $10 and they got to pay Pepsi $14 or $15. But they're getting some value with the scoreboards. So we had a meeting actually last night with the Little League, my monthly meeting with them. And they've told me they're getting ready to sign an agreement with Pepsi again. So they can, and Pepsi has done some work on them recently.
And at the next meeting, I'm bringing back a photo of the entrance to Canal Park whenever my company designed, didn't really design the thing, but we designed the entrance to it and then landscaped it back in the 80s. And I'm gonna give each one of you a
I've seen it.
Because that sign needs to go back up there at the entrance to Canal Park, because that was an incredible sign. That was the one that was taken down when they 6-laned
Tampa Road.
But we need a nice sign back up there and another landscaped entrance.
Thank you.
Not just the Little League field, it's gotta be the football field and the soccer fields too. I mean, the
Yeah.
whole entire park.
Oh, the whole thing we
needs
need
to
to
be-
look at, yeah.
Well, Bruce and I have talked about a proposal to do a master plan in the next year. Project right now is to get this BMX track and then go from there and do a master plan for the rest of the park. And I have talked to Stan Tech about that because I figured, well, they're doing the BMX track, so it's probably going to take up 20% of the park. So why not try to use the same people if we can to finish it?
Well, can they not provide the big sign?
Give us a sign. Unless you would like to donate it.
Yeah, I donated it one time.
Well,
I ain't
here's an
donated.
opportunity.
Piece of driftwood we can use.
I had more money back then.
Thank you, Lynn, appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thanks.
And then lastly, I was gonna say about Babe's comment with the Hillsborough County issue. Wouldn't the striping and the stop sign affect like Wellington Estates as well? I mean, wouldn't it benefit them, their homeowners? I was gonna say maybe perhaps, I mean, we could reach out to them and see if they'd also send something to the county, or I think maybe from a developer, they might get a little bit wherewithal versus, you know, a couple residents that are.
It's probably also about finding the right person, right button to push at the county.
Yeah.
Just, they're a big machine
Because
over there.
I mean, if I lived right there and I felt like I had asked and I was having to just reach out to the county, and you know how counties are in comparison to kind of cities like us, I think we get things done a lot faster,
Yeah.
so. I don't know, maybe that was just a thought.
Is there a way to find out the point of contact that would be best suited for that? I mean, I'll write a letter, I don't care, I mean, or I'll call them.
I mean, Mike Merrill is the county administrator. I would probably send it to his office. That we haven't tried that yet. We were working at a different level.
Okay, I mean, I'll just call him. I don't even need to send a letter. I'll just call him.
Yeah, I mean, it was street
That's a good
striping
idea.
and a stop sign, you know, and I feel like that should be easy stuff, so.
Okay.
All right, and that's all I had. Thank you.
I really don't have a whole bunch. Congratulations to all the city staff that got us the Municipality of the Year award, and I try and be in as many places as I can at all times, but that was one I was not able to make. But congratulations, I know those guys worked hard and we deserved it. So only other comment I have, and tonight obviously it's a little warm in here. We're having air conditioner problems, which leads me right into my only agenda item. Normally at daylight savings time, we go to ties. That's up to you guys. I would like to see jackets as we move forward, and I know tonight was hot, but I've never been a tie guy, and so it's up to you. I mentioned that maybe if we have a special meeting like we did with the firefighters pension fund, that, you know, out of respect, we might do ties, but for the most part, I'm fine with whatever you guys decide, but a jacket for the guys and, you know, business clothes for the women.
The ladies always look
Yeah,
good.
The two redheads.
Yeah.
Gabby's a redhead now.
I'm her distant cousin now.
Yeah.
Oh, boy. Anybody else have anything? Bruce? Tom?
Do you want me to say anything about that change?
No, we'll save it for next time. That's it. If nothing else, I need a motion for the tentative agenda.
So moved.
As amended. To reflect.
Sorry, as amended.
To reflect that we're adding the reading of those ordinances for the charter changes.
As amended.
As so moved.
Second?
Second.
Motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Passes 5-0. Thank you. Meeting adjourned.